Today I am going to talk about Citronella cultivation. Citronella belongs to the family Poaceae. It is 1 to 2 meter tall and bush perennial plant with green to yellowish green leaves. It is one of the most well known of the species and has been introduced to Europe. Leaf blades are long, white, and glabrous. Spikelets are sessile and long. Oil of citronella is obtained by the distillation of green herb known as lemongrass or citronella grass. Citronella is of two types, that is Ceylon type and Java type. Ceylon type of oil is obtained from the species Cymbopogon nardus, and Java type oil is obtained from Cymbopogon winteranius. The oil contains citral and has a strong odor like that of lemon. That is the reason why the name given is lemongrass. The oil of Java type is superior over Ceylon type as it contains about 85 to 90% of citral compared to Ceylon type, which is having 50 to 60% citral. Now let's come to the origin. Citronella is native to Sri Lanka. The oldest known records of using citronella oil and leaves as perfumes in religious ceremonies were found in India about 2000 years ago. First evidence of using citronella oil in Sri Lanka has been reported by Dr. Nicholas Grimm in 17th century. By 18th century, Sri Lanka was a reputed exporter of citronella oil, and the samples of Sri Lankan citronella oil had reported to be displayed in World Trade auctions in London and Lisbon. However, with the entering of Indonesia and a few other countries into the market, the demand for Sri Lankan citronella has been declined. Now let's see about the geographic distribution of citronella. In India, first the successful cultivation of citronella java was done by Shimav Regional Center at Bangalore in 1961. Later on, the crop was introduced in northeastern part of the country. Now, cultivation is done on large scale in the states of Assam, Meghalaya, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and Madhya Pradesh. Citronella java cultivation in India yields about 800 to 1000 tons of oil annually. This crop is a recent introduction into India, and its cultivation is mainly done in the lower hills of Assam, in Karnataka, and southern Gujarat, covering about 2000 hectares of area. Now let's see about the economic importance of this citronella. The oil extracted from leaves and other aerial parts of the plant is a commercial product of importance. Citronella oil is used as a fragrant in cosmetic industry, soap and detergent manufacturing, polish, paints, and in insecticide industry. It is a common mosquito repellent and also used in indigenous medicines as well as in flavoring food and alcoholic drinks in certain countries. Citronella oil is widely used in perfume industry directly or indirectly. It is used extensively in soaps, detergents, household cleaner, mosquito cream, agarbatti, tea blending, etc. The oil also serves as a starting material for certain important isolates such as geraniol and citronellol. This can be converted into some of most widely used aromatics. Oil contains beta-ionons, which is precursor of vitamin B12. It is also antibiotic and anti-flatulent. Citronella oil is used in cough syrup to remove muscle fatigue. It is also used for wound healing. Now let's discuss about the varieties of Citronella. Java Citronella, that is Cymbopogon nerdus, and Ceylon Citronella, that is Cymbopogon winterinus, are the two important species. Bio 13, Manjusha, Mandakini are the improved varieties common in India. Now let's come to the soil and climatic requirements. Citronella grows well in areas where there is abundant sunshine and high humidity, which is about 70% and above. Temperature range between 20 degrees Celsius to 38 degrees Celsius, and well-distributed rainfall of 2000 to 3000 mm are desirable. But if irrigation is available, Citronella can be cultivated in regions of low rainfall also and rain shadow belt. Citronella grows best in sandy loam soils. Heavy clay soils, which tend to waterlog, and light sandy soils are not suitable for this crop. It does not tolerate water stagnation. A good amount of organic matter is desirable. The ideal pH range is 5 to 6. Soil testing is important for best fertility management and higher productivity. Citronella thrives well under tropical and subtropical conditions. It requires abundant moisture for good growth. Now let's come to the cultural practices recommended for Citronella cultivation. Now let's see about land preparation. Land is prepared by disking and tilling the soil through several times. Termite treatment is important during last plowing. 5% BHE powder, 25 kg per hectare, is mixed with soil. After that, leveling should be done. Raised beds of 75 to 80 cm wide and of convenient length are found with a spacing of 30 to 35 cm between beds. On slopy terrain, the beds are formed along the contours. At the early southwest monsoon, that is between June and July, 2 seedlings or slips per hill are transplanted on beds at a spacing of 30 to 40 cm in 4 to 5 rows. Before planting, top leafy portion of seedling is cut off, leaving the plant stalk about 15 to 20 cm length. Let's see about the time of planting of the Citronella. The best time for planting is the onset of rains. In subtropical climates with assured irrigation, planting can also be done in the month of January, February, March, June, July, etc. Due to control of soil moisture, the percentage of crop establishment is more and the plants do not face with competitions, which is not uncommon with rainy season planting. The planting material. Citronella is propagated by cutting, division, grafting, seed separating by using suckers or rooted stem cuttings. Plantation remains for 5 to 7 years. Planting material is obtained by dividing the clumps from the old plantation. The divided units are called slips. Before digging out the clumps, all the leaves should be removed 20 to 25 cm from the ground to minimize water loss from the transpirations. Lengthy roots are trimmed and the dead leaves are removed from the slips to allow quick establishment of the slips in soil and protect it from soil-borne insect and pest. Now let's see about the planting method and the spacing requirement. Plantation is done at 60 by 60 cm distance. However, in areas with fairly large growing period, planting distance may be increased to 70 by 70 centimeter or even 90 by 90 centimeter. Closer planting helps plantation to compete against weeds. Slips plantation is done on flat beds or ridges depending upon the texture of the soil. Slips are placed in holes of about 5 to 8 centimeter deep, and the soil surrounding the slip is properly pressed, and watering should be done immediately. Now let's come to the manures and fertilizer applications. Citronella, being leafy crop, removes large amount of nutrients from the soil. Therefore, it is general practice to supply sufficient organic manures and fertilizers. The fertilizer requirement depends on the fertility of the soil and the climatic conditions. Before plantation, FIM or compost at the rate of 15 to 20 tons per hectare is to be applied to the soil. After plantation, root treatment is done. 5 liters of water and 1 liter of cow urine should be applied. The fertilizer requirement is 120 kg nitrogen, 40 kg P2O5 and 40 kg K2O per hectare. Half of nitrogen and full dose of P2O5 and K2O are applied at the time of plantation in first year and before hoeing. After rainfall, the remaining nitrogen should be applied in 4 equal splits after each harvest. Now let's see about the water management for Citronella. Citronella grass typically requires at least 76 centimeter of water per year to thrive and most conditions for good growth. The crop requires regular irrigations during rain-free period with 8 to 10 irrigations. In areas of prolonged rainy season, the crop is cultivated as a rain-fed crop. Irrigation is provided twice a week during the first month of planting and thereafter once in 5 days. The field is kept free from weeds till a complete cover of the crop is obtained. Earthing up is done after about 4 months of planting and again after every harvest, as Citronella root stock has a tendency to work out itself out of the soil. Let's come to insect pest and disease management. During dry seasons, the crop may be affected by yellowing and crinkling diseases, which is due to mites. The emerging leaves become wrinkled and pale. It may fail to open and the part may die. This may be controlled by spraying a mixture of Docofol or Kethen at the rate of 2 ml per liter of water and ethion, that is Tafethion 50 EC at the rate of 1 ml per liter water, along with the wetting agent like Triton AE or Enditron AE at the rate of 0.5 ml per liter. Insects like mites and termites, thrips, etc. are common. This can be controlled by applying Furadon at the rate of 20 kg per hectare or by spraying 0.5% dimethoate or 400 to 500 kg neem oil cake. The crop sometimes may show yellowing of growing leaves, indicating a mixed deficiency of zinc, molybdenum and sulfur. 2 or 3 foliar sprays of a complete micronutrient mixture at fortnightly intervals is sufficient to combat the deficiency. Now let's see about the harvesting process and the yield potential of Citronella. Harvesting can be commenced 6 to 8 months after field planting and repeated in every 3 months intervals. Aerial part of the plant is harvested 12 to 20 cm above the ground level and allowed to wither in the field for 1 to 2 days prior to processing. Up to 20,000 kg per hectare of fresh leaves can be harvested, and the yield may vary with the agronomic practices and the age of the plantation. The oil yield can be 60 to 80 kg per hectare and 100 kg per hectare for Java and Ceylon Citronella respectively. Let's see about the average yield of Citronella oil. In the first year, about 50 to 100 kg per hectare, and in the second year, 100 to 150 kg per hectare, and in the fifth year, 250 to 300 kg per hectare could be achieved. Let's see the market situation for Citronella. The cost of cultivation for hectare of land is about rupees 1,09,150, while the profit is about rupees 2,68,975 for hectare of land. The Indian market rate of Citronella oil is about 250 to 300 rupees per kg. Let's see the standard quality specification of Citronella oil. Grade 1, total geraniol content is 60%. Grade 2, total geraniol content is 55%, and grade 3, it has 53%. Citronella cultivation is done on commercial basis for obtaining aromatic oil from the leaves. Selection of proper soil, climatic conditions, method of plantation, type of Citronella species, proper application of fertilizers and manures, harvesting, etc. consideration is essential. The cultivation method and the measures taken during cultivation of Citronella give good yield and better oil recovery from the leaves. The aromatic oil has odor like lemon because of the presence of citral in the oil. Lemon has about 20% of citral and about 80% is found in Citronella. The oil is used in perfumery, detergent, and also for medical purposes. Thus, the cultivation of Citronella Java is highly profitable for farmers in rain-fed areas and the areas with proper irrigation. Cultivation of the grass would help the resource-poor farmers of India economically through employment opportunities during the entire process of planting to processing and oil extraction. Scientific production of the grass would provide abundant raw materials in the perfume and cosmetic industries, where ample opportunities for sustainable income generation and other related jobs would flourish to increase the economic growth of our country, India.